there's a chance that I never be able to wear my hearing aid again. Basically, like, it's such a gift to have it and use it, and you don't realize what you're missing out on until you've experienced it. I have my left side compensate most of the time. It really does affect me every day, and I get really frustrated having to have people repeat things to me in certain environments. There are other devices that I can use to help with my hearing. There are options I have to look into after fusion, look into the bone-achored hearing aid after fusion. It's fine, like I can still see, I can still hear, I can still communicate with people. It's just difficult in certain environments. Hey guys, it's Michaela and you're watching FunsizedStyle. I just want to apologize for my hair today. I just feel like it's very like the ends are just so weird. They're like kind of poofy and just really long. Like I tried to tame it and like do my half up, half down classic look, and I don't know. I'm just not happy with the hair today, but I'm way overdue for a haircut. Everything going on in my life and crashing down, it has not been a priority, and it needs to be, but it's not. So here we are. Hi guys. Today's video is really special for me, and I want to share a lot of thoughts, a lot of random thoughts. Well, not random, they have a lot of purpose, and I've thought a lot about these things before sharing them, so they're certainly not random by any means. The day that you are watching this video, the day before my bone-achored hearing aid placement surgery, it just feels so surreal that time has finally come. I'm just overwhelmed with joy that I get this opportunity and this gift to be able to have this device. It has been a long time coming that I have waited so long for, prayed so hard for. If you follow me on Instagram, then you kind of got a taste of what I'm going to be sharing about today, but receiving this device means so much more to me than being able to hear. I know that sounds kind of weird, and I'll get to that. Explain my thought processes. It means so much more to me than just being able to hear better. And I wanted to share this and have this for me to look back on after this is all said and done. It will close a chapter of my life that has been open for way too long and has been a part of my story for way too long. What I'm going to share today, I feel like, is such a story of redemption. I wanted to share with you. As you guys know, tomorrow is my bone-achored hearing aid placement surgery. I'm not sure from when this video is uploaded or from when this video is being filmed. I am scheduled to be having surgery in the afternoon, and tomorrow afternoon I will be in surgery. The time is still subject to change. At this time tomorrow I will be in surgery to have my bone-achored hearing aid placed. When I wake up from surgery tomorrow, I will actually not be able to hear any better than I already hear right now, because the device is not, the language that they use in the bone-achored hearing aid world is activated, so it's not turned on yet. Have to wait like for your head to heal, and they wait like 4 weeks. Every provider probably does it different, and then I will have I'll go back and have, not like to the operating room or anything, but to my audiologist, and she will activate my device, turn it on, and input all of the settings to my hearing loss, and then that is when I will finally be able to hear normally for the first time in over 7 years from my right side. It's weird, like, going into a surgery and then waking up and like knowing that I won't see the results. I am incredibly excited for this day. Obviously, with any surgery there comes risk, so this is actually like one of the safest surgery that you can have, though. Like, there's very minimal risks except for like an infection after the surgery, but they do everything to prevent that, obviously, and we anticipate everything to go well. But of course, I appreciate any prayers that you could send my way, that everything goes as planned and goes smoothly, and my team has the knowledge and the wisdom to input this device well. My head will hold this device. Many people with osteogenesis imperfecta have a bone-achored hearing aid, obviously, or else I wouldn't be doing them, but many people with osteogenesis imperfecta have a bone-achored hearing aid, but the bone that this device has to go onto or near is very thin, like this big bone. The skull, like the head, is typically like very, at least my head, is typically very strong and like not, I mean, it is OI-like because I have OI, but not as much of an OI skull as you would typically see in terms of strength. Like I have a lot more strength. Specific bone is one that is already small to begin with, and then when you want to put, and then you take into consideration osteogenesis imperfecta, the bone is like incredibly thin. Like so less than 1% chance I could wake up without the device if my bone is not able to hold the device. This is actually something that I haven't talked about because I am so confident that this will be sustainable for me, and because the reason I have such confidence is because I know of so many people with osteogenesis imperfecta who have type 3, who have bone and good hearing aid, and it's went well for them. I don't know of anyone with osteogenesis imperfecta who have tried to have a bone and good hearing aid placed and it was not successful. Not to say that that couldn't happen, and not to say that it hasn't happened. I just don't know of one personally. My surgeon, she's implanted hundreds of bone and good hearing aids, some of which with osteogenesis imperfecta. This specific model that I'm receiving, based on a variety of circumstances, the metal BONEBRIDGE, I will only ever be the third person at Michigan Medicine that my surgeon has ever implanted this specific model with. There is that surgical tech from Metal who has worked specifically with multiple patients with osteogenesis imperfecta. So if any issues arise with the device itself, like, he will be there. Many people with osteogenesis imperfecta do have the metal BONEBRIDGE. It's went well for them and it's went great. And so, but I did just want you guys to know that if you see a video on here that my surgery didn't go well, that's why. Like I said, there's like a less than 1% chance of that happening. Because so many of these have went so well. Unlike my spinal fusion, I know of people with osteogenesis imperfecta that the surgery didn't go well, the spinal fusion didn't go well, and that it did fail. And so I knew that that was a higher possibility for me to happen than not. The fusion was successful. That doesn't mean that my bone and good hearing aid will be. Obviously, I have faith and hope in that God would not have brought me this far only to stop now, and I just have a lot of confidence that this will go well, based on all the statistics, all the factors, and that my spine is able to hold hardware, and so I have hope that my head will too. That's kind of like the details of it. I did just want to, before I go into talking about this other aspect of this video, I did want to share there's like a less than 1% chance that I could wake up without the device. Obviously, we don't see that happening, but obviously my surgeon has to share with me all the reality, no matter how unlikely they may. Obviously, I can't make an informed consent decision if I don't have all the information, no matter what that information looks like. Based on everything that I know and that I have been presented with, I feel confident in moving forward with this, as well as my team. That's why they're doing this. We are really excited because we do have a lot of hope and a lot of confidence that we don't foresee any major issues. As I share about this excitement and what this device will do for me, I wanted to share that piece of information because I haven't shared it before. God forbid it did have a different outcome. I wouldn't want you guys to think that I wasn't expecting this or that I didn't know that that could be a possibility. I have been told. I just haven't spoke of it because I truly believe that that's not going to be my outcome. But you never know. I don't know what God's plan is, but all I can do is stay positive and hope for the best. That is the game plan for tomorrow and kind of our expectations. Obviously, my otolaryngologist who is doing the surgery will be there. The surgical tech from Metal is flying into Michigan. He's probably already for my surgery tomorrow. Orthopedic surgeon is scrubbing in as well. So I have got a great team of people helping me make this possible, and it is all hands on deck, and we are so excited. You guys know, just from a logistical standpoint, there have been so many barriers getting this approved by my insurance, waiting so long to have it scheduled. Oh, and then all the pre-op appointments, a C19 test 2 days before my surgery. My surgeon tested positive for C19, and then 2 days late, and so we had to postpone it. Thankfully, as you can see, they were able to reschedule it really quickly because I was considered a top priority based on everything that I went through to get this, and obviously my surgeon getting C19 is not her fault. It's not my fault. We're just rolling with the punches here. It's been a long road, and to be honest, from when I'm filming this, I even believe it until I'm in the operating room, because I know that at any moment anything can happen. I'm trying so hard, even up until the day before, not to get my hopes up, even though it's like tomorrow from when you guys are hopefully seeing this video. I just know that literally anything can happen. So that's not me being negative Nancy, that's me being real, based on what I've already experienced. It has been a long road, and I wanted to share a bit about what my purpose in making this video was, to share what this device means to me more than just being able to hear. And obviously that is why I'm receiving the device, but as a whole, it also means so much more to me, because I feel as though it is such a story of redemption, because as you guys have learned, as I've shared this hearing loss aspect of my life and what this has done to me, and how I was tossed around in the medical system for over 10 years, slowly losing my hearing for an unknown reason at the time. I was told by multiple physicians that this would not happen to me, that my risk of long-term hearing loss from repeated infections from childhood were extremely low. They didn't see that I was at any risk for losing hearing long term. I had multiple eustachian tube placements. I had multiple eustachian tubes removed and replaced over and over and over. Every provider that I went to never looked into other possible causes of why I could be getting these infections. They were just assuming that I had a fluid problem. And I did experience that briefly on my right side when I was like 7, but then I had a tube put in that side too. At one of the same times I had a new right one put in, completely went away and never came back. So it was just a fluke thing, but my right side has always been the problem side. And hindsight's 20/20, but it's really incredible that we and all the surgeons that I went to decided to put me through this over and over and over and over and over when the treatment wasn't working. Several weeks or months after the surgery, we would be back to square one. Hindsight's 20/20. They just explained it to me that it was just something that I was prone to, and that we would just have to manage the best that we can. And I never understood that, especially as I got older and like learned more about health. Your body is not supposed to be living in a constant state of infection. Symptoms are our body's way of telling us that something is wrong. Infection doesn't just take over because there is always a reason, and our bodies are smart. Incredible to me that there are still so many doctors in the medical system that have this mentality that somebody is just prone to something, or there's not an underlying cause. For providers later, obviously you guys know that my fifth, who I found 2 years ago now, we have been through a lot together. She has been an answer to prayer for so long. The first day that she met me, went over my whole history and all the otolaryngologists that I've ever seen, all the things that I went through over and over and over and over. And this is a lot to go through just for one problem. Also, by the way, like, this is not normal to go through like 20 different, not 20, but like 4 different providers. Well, she was my fifth. 5 different providers to figure out like what's wrong with you. The first thing she said to me when I met her was, "You've been through a lot with this, and you have an extensive history with this, and obviously you've been through the same thing with the same result, and we need to figure out why this is happening to you." And those are words that I've never heard any other doctor tell me. I just knew at that time, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Like, I just knew it. The first thing that she recommended was a CT scan and of my head. And this was something that I have never gone through for this, and so that's what it did. It instantly revealed to my entire childhood journey with it up until my teenage years. It revealed to us everything that I ever needed to know. I don't know what official diagnosis called, but it is most likely something that I was born with, not OI related. Likely something that I was born with, not OI related, because I know hundreds of people with OI, and I don't know if anyone else that's ever dealt with this. A section, I guess, I don't know, of my inner ear is too narrow, or was too narrow, and so we could put all the ear tubes that we want in there, but it allowed the tubes not to function properly because it was still too narrow. No wonder why the tubes were not working after a while. And so, like I said, I don't remember what the official diagnosis of the narrowing is, but I remember she said something like eustachian tube dysfunction was one of them. She told me that this was something that she could fix. She said, like, we need to fix it kind of soon, obviously, because I've dealt with this for so long. And then at the time, they also found, like, a tiny mass. She thought it was a cholesteatoma, which is a non-cancerous mass. It grows like cancer does, but it's not cancer. But it looked like that on the scan. And so this can happen from, like, years of infection, obviously, like I've been through, and it can be very destructive. I think within like 2 weeks I had surgery. When she went in surgery, the mass or something that she found was not a cholesteatoma, thank gosh, because even though it's not cancerous, even after she takes it out, it can grow back. I'm so glad it was not a cholesteatoma. Formation, I guess, was like a bunch of old infection. They found an old ear tube in there from, like, we don't even know how long, because we thought all my old ones were out. They found all kinds of stuff in there. By the time I found her, it was too late. Hearing bones were already gone. You were born with 3, and 2 of them were gone from the infection. Completely, no way, like Pac-Man. My anatomy didn't allow for artificial hearing bones to be put in because my anatomy is too small. They were able to clear out and fix everything that was wrong. I have been infection-free ever since, so almost 3 years now. Weird bone growth, some surgery, just the way that I healed, so they had to go back in, trim that down, and I had what's called a tympanomastoidectomy. That was the first surgery that I had, and then the eustachian tube balloon dilation. I had all of that one surgery, and then I had the tympanomastoidectomy revision the second time, because my bone just, like, grew back kind of weird, and it was causing a lot of pain, so they just went in and, like, cut it down, and it's been fine. Fast forward, then I got my hearing aid. It caused me pain from all the damage that was done from all the reconstruction inside my ear that I needed. I didn't wear the hearing aid anymore. Not only could I not wear the hearing aid anymore, traditional hearing aid, I'd been through all this, and it felt like my hearing was taken from me. We knew all these years that, like, something had to be wrong with me, and, like, no other provider could figure it out. She did, obviously, but obviously by the time I found her, it was too late. It felt like I had been tossed around by the medical system, and I can say with confidence that the hearing loss journey is a huge reason as to why I have trust issues with healthcare, because I was told I was fine so many times, and then I ended up not being fine. Patients know our body's best. If you're a healthcare provider and you don't understand that, then you shouldn't be in healthcare. And I'm not sorry about saying that. I've been blessed with a lot of really great healthcare people who help save my life and do incredible things for me, but I've also been dismissed by a lot of healthcare providers. This hearing loss journey is where I say with confidence that the healthcare system failed me. Tomorrow is such a story of redemption, because my surgeon, who had to tell me, was bad news at first of what was gone, and then going through the whole process of getting the hearing aid, and then it causing me pain from all the reconstruction that had to be done inside of my ear from the surgery. He was determined to find a way to get me to be able to hear better, and this was our next best solution. I get to take back what was taken from me, and I can't even begin to tell you how amazing that feels to be able to something back that was taken from me. Like, it's not me complaining, but, like, there's so many aspects of my life that are so hard, and when you put everything else on top of everything else that's hard, like, I think the thing is too, like, it never had to be this way. Doctors would have found, like, the root cause, and the thing that I always not beat myself up over, because it's done, it's over, and all I can do is move on, but the cause and the fix was so simple. Like, it didn't have to be this way, but it is, and all I can do now is move forward, and it's just such a story of redemption. Like, she, for the past 2 surgeries that she's done for me, she had to tell me bad news, and this time she gets to give me the ultimate gift of being able to hear. I look back at everything that I've gone through with this hearing loss journey, and then just in itself trying to get it approved by my health insurance, waiting to be scheduled, and it's been an unforgettable road. And I don't take for granted the gift of being able to get this device, because I know there are so many people who could benefit from this device. But this is a huge part of my life, and I want to share. I could live the rest of my life without it. I have my right side to be able to hear. Obviously, God gave us 2 for a reason. When you topple everything else in my life that's so hard, this just adds to it. And so if there's any little bit in my life that I can do to make my life easier, then I am all about it and say yes to this opportunity and this gift to be able to hear. And I'm so young. It's not like my hearing loss is temporary or that it will get better. Like, it is gone. Like, I will always have to rely on artificial technology to be able to hear normally on my right side. I got asked the other day on Instagram when I did my mini segment, how do you not get upset with these doctors when you had to be through this so many times for one thing and see so many different doctors? They all missed it. Obviously, once I found out how simple it was and how simple the solution in finding the problem was and how simple the solution was to fix, like, yeah, it's easy to like get upset. And I was. Like, you can't hold grudges. Like, I have no grudges against these doctors, and yeah, they took something from me that, like, I will never be able to get back naturally, like, ever. It's completely gone. I can move forward, and I can do the next best thing, and I found this incredible healthcare professional who does listen to her patients and does care about her patients and does care about their quality of life. That's all I can do is move forward. I truly have like no anger anymore. Having no anger doesn't mean I'll forget, right? Like, I've had to go through a lot for this, and I'll never forget that, and I'll never forget why, but it doesn't make me upset. So what can I do about it? And these other doctors, like, it wasn't like they didn't care. I want to say that, like, they were good doctors in the sense that, like, they just didn't know how to help me. They just didn't know how to help me long term. They didn't look into it. They weren't necessarily bad doctors. They were good people. They didn't have any ill will against me. I know, you know when someone's not a good person, and this wasn't any of that. It was just something that I went through. It just is what it is. All I can do now is move forward. Do I wish I wouldn't have had to have surgery for this? Yes. Do I wish my hearing was never taken? Yeah. This was not OI related, so had I not been tossed around, like, this would not be my reality, but it is, and all I can do is move forward and take the next step, and this is the next best thing. And I'm so grateful for technology like this for patients who find themselves in similar situations like myself. And there are all kinds of reasons why people may need a bone-anchored hearing aid. That's my answer to that. Your quality of life matters. What you know matters. I'm really proud of myself too. I fought so hard for this day, and the redemption story is gonna make a huge difference in my life. Again, I could live my whole life without it, but God gave us 2 ears for a reason, and we're meant to have 2. So many aspects of my life that hearing loss is affected by, and so any little burden that I can lift, share a lot of the hard stuff that I experience, but I don't share all of it. When you add up, when the simple stuff starts to become hard, it adds up, and this simple thing is about to become a whole lot easier, and I couldn't be more excited. I will link a video down below. Metal has an animation video of how a bone-anchored hearing aid is placed, and it's really, really cool. It's completely animation, so there's no, like, real person in the video. There's no surgery video, like, there's not graphic whatsoever. It's really cool, so I'll link it down below. You guys can see how my bone-anchored hearing aid will be placed tomorrow and, like, where. It's really, really cool, so I recommend the video down below and watch it. Tomorrow is my story of redemption, and I get to take back something that was taken from me. Will it be perfect? No. Will there be obstacles I'll have to overcome with it and learning how to use the device and how to best suit it for me? Yeah. So if there's anything you can do to prevent yourself from getting in my situation, I recommend it, because you don't want to have to rely on this kind of stuff. It's great for when it's there, but it's always best to not need it. Tomorrow is going to be a really great day. I've got the ultimate dream team. Really excited to share with you this journey, and of course I'll be doing videos to share all about the device after I take some time to use it and learn about it. Tomorrow I finally get to receive the gift of sound and an incredible story of redemption, of taking back what was taken from me for too long, and I have fought so hard for this day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll be updating real time there, and yeah, I will see you guys soon. Please be praying for me that the surgery goes well and everything goes well. This will be, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you, surgery number 28. Surgery number 28. This is also the first time that I will be immediately extubated after surgery like I have the previous 25 times. As my 2 spinal surgeries, we obviously waited the next day, but plan is outpatient just like my other surgeries. This is obviously not even half the time of my spinal fusion, but big day tomorrow, so please be praying that everything goes well for number surgery 28, and the past 4 surgeries I've had have changed my life in such big ways, and I'm so grateful. So here we go. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.